In the early 1960s, the American automotive landscape was a study in contrasts, sharply divided between two distinct classes of family vehicles. On one side stood the suburban station wagon, the undisputed king of the family driveway. Vehicles like the Ford Country Squire and the Chrysler Town and Country were symbols of post-war prosperity, offering car-like comfort, powerful V8 engines, smooth automatic transmissions, and elegant styling, often accented with simulated wood-grain paneling. They were designed for the new world of interstate highways and sprawling suburbs, providing luxurious and comfortable transport for the American family. However, their domain was strictly limited to paved roads. They were built on passenger car platforms with two-wheel drive, making them unsuitable for anything more adventurous than a gravel driveway. On the other side of this divide were the utilitarian 4x4s, vehicles such as the Chevrolet Suburban, the International Harvester Travelall, and Jeep's own predecessor, the Willys Jeep Station Wagon, were rugged, truck-based machines built for work. They offered the go-anywhere capability of four-wheel drive, but this came at a steep price in comfort and refinement. These vehicles were characterized by Spartan interiors, harsh leaf-spring suspensions that delivered a punishing ride, and manual-only transmissions that required effort and skill to operate. They were seen by the public not as family cars, but as commercial vehicles or farm implements, tools for a job, not vehicles for a family outing. This stark dichotomy created a significant gap in the market. A cultural shift was underway. A growing and increasingly affluent middle class had more leisure time and a burgeoning desire for recreation and adventure. Families wanted to go skiing, tow a boat to the lake, or venture into national parks for camping trips. Yet no single vehicle existed that could comfortably and stylishly transport a family from their suburban home during the week and then confidently tackle a muddy trail or a snow-covered mountain pass on the weekend. A family had to choose the on-road comfort of a station wagon or the off-road capability of a truck. This presented a unique opportunity for an automaker to bridge the gap. Kaiser Willys, guided by the visionary industrial designer Brooks Stevens, recognized this unmet need and embarked on a project that would not just fill the void, but create an entirely new automotive category. The goal was not merely to build a more comfortable truck, but to create a direct challenger to the station wagon's dominance by offering a feature the likes of Ford and Chrysler could not: true all-terrain freedom. The 1963 Jeep Wagoneer was not an evolution, it was a revolution. Introduced in November 1962, it was a vehicle that bristled with innovations, each one meticulously engineered to dismantle the barriers that had traditionally kept mainstream American families out of 4x4s. It represented a holistic reimagining of what a utility vehicle could be, focusing on the needs and desires of the passenger car buyer. At the core of the Wagoneer's advanced engineering was its power plant, the Tornado 230 cubic inch overhead cam inline-six engine. At a time when American manufacturers relied almost exclusively on older pushrod and L-head designs for their six-cylinder engines, the Tornado was a technological standout. It was the only mass-produced OHC engine built by a U.S. automaker, a design more commonly associated with sophisticated European sports cars. This advanced design yielded exceptional performance for its displacement. It produced 140 horsepower at 4,000 RPM and a robust 210 pound-feet of torque at a very low 1,750 RPM. This low-end torque was ideal for the dual-purpose nature of the Wagoneer, providing strong pulling power for towing and excellent crawling capability for off-road situations. Contemporary automotive magazines were highly impressed. Car Life praised the engine as commendably smooth and quiet and noted its remarkable efficiency, recording mileage of 14.5 mpg in the city and 17 mpg on the highway. Strong figures for a 4,500-pound vehicle of that era. However, this cutting-edge technology was not without its teething problems. The Tornado engine was known to be susceptible to cooling issues and could experience pinging at higher altitudes, which prompted the introduction of a lower compression version in 1964. These issues ultimately led to its replacement by more conventional and reliable AMC-sourced engines in 1965. But its initial inclusion signaled Jeep's clear intention to offer a vehicle that was technologically superior to its utilitarian rivals. Beyond the engine, the Wagoneer's available drivetrain options represented its most significant departure from the 4x4 norm. Two key features, both optional, fundamentally altered the accessibility and comfort of four-wheel drive vehicles. The first and most important of these was the availability of a 3-speed automatic transmission sourced from Borg-Warner. This made the 1963 Wagoneer the first four-wheel drive vehicle in history to offer a fully automatic gearbox. This single option was a monumental leap forward. It eliminated the need for drivers to wrestle with a heavy clutch and a column or floor-mounted manual shifter, making the Wagoneer as easy to drive as any Ford or Chevrolet station wagon. This dramatically broadened its appeal, making it a viable option for any member of the family and directly targeting the suburban buyers who were accustomed to the convenience of an automatic. The second revolutionary option was an independent front suspension system for four-wheel drive models. While competitors used crude, heavy, solid I-beam axles with leaf springs, the Wagoneer offered an advanced IFS design utilizing long torsion bars. This system allowed the front wheels to move independently of one another, providing a dramatically smoother, more car-like ride that absorbed bumps far more effectively than any solid-axle truck. It also provided the practical benefit of a 16-inch tighter turning radius, making the large vehicle more maneuverable in daily driving. By offering both the rugged, traditional solid axle as standard and the comfortable IFS as an option, Jeep astutely catered to its established off-road focused customers while simultaneously appealing to a new market of comfort-oriented buyers. The Wagoneer's revolutionary engineering was wrapped in a body that was equally forward-thinking. Designer Brooks Stevens was tasked with creating a vehicle that looked rugged but not intimidating, handsome but not brutish. The result was a masterpiece of industrial design. The slab-sided body had a masculine handsomeness, with a low hood, minimal ornamentation, and an expansive glass area that created an airy, open feeling inside, in contrast to the dark, cave-like interiors of other utility wagons. Crucially, the design prioritized human factors. The step-in height was engineered to be low, almost like that of an ordinary car, eliminating the awkward climb required to enter a Suburban or Travelall. It was offered in both two-door and, critically, four-door body styles, with the latter being essential for attracting families. The interior featured amenities taken directly from the passenger car playbook, including roll-down windows in all doors, a novelty for a 4x4, a stylish instrument panel, and an optional power-retractable tailgate window. The front grille, with its 11 vertical bars, was a deliberate departure from the iconic 7-slot Jeep face, signaling that the Wagoneer was a new, more sophisticated breed of vehicle, aimed at a different buyer. The options list further blurred the line between car and truck, offering power steering, power brakes, a push-button AM radio, and, beginning in 1964, factory-installed air conditioning. This comprehensive approach, engineering from the buyer's perspective, is what made the Wagoneer so groundbreaking. It systematically addressed and solved every major pain point that made traditional 4x4s unappealing to the mainstream market. To fully appreciate the impact of the Wagoneer, it must be viewed in the context of its contemporaries. A side-by-side comparison reveals that in 1963, no other vehicle on the American market offered its unique combination of features. It did not merely improve upon an existing formula, it created an entirely new one, leaving it in a class of its own. The Chevrolet Suburban and International Harvester Travelall were its closest rivals in terms of size and four-wheel drive availability. However, they were fundamentally trucks. The Suburban was essentially a panel truck with windows, built on a C10 truck chassis with a Spartan interior and basic engine options. The Travelall, while rugged and available with V8 power, was similarly a heavy-duty truck-based wagon that lacked the Wagoneer's civility and advanced features. They neither offered the option of an automatic transmission nor an independent front suspension in their 4x4 configurations, nor did they possess the car-like styling and amenities of the Jeep. At the other end of the spectrum, the Ford Country Squire and Chrysler Town & Country represented the pinnacle of the traditional station wagon. They offered powerful V8s, luxurious interiors, and a host of comfort and convenience features. The Country Squire was the aristocrat of the wagon world, while the Town & Country was a premium offering with hardtop styling and powerful engines. Their fatal flaw, however, was their complete reliance on rear-wheel drive and car-based platforms, rendering them useless the moment the pavement ended. The 1963 Wagoneer was the only vehicle that successfully synthesized the best attributes of these two opposing classes. It offered the all-weather, all-terrain capability of the